Good morning, traders. Hope you're all doing super well. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend and that you're all already killing markets, or rather, that you are waiting patient, waiting for those excellent setups to play out. Today, we'll be following up on the weekend's analysis. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. Remember to watch it, and then let's see how Monday played out to give us the setups for today. Tuesday, it's a good day to be trading, and I'll show you now what I am looking for, what I've been looking for, and what we are looking at now. So still the 4 hour, this is still the area that I'm looking for price to return to, where we have our imbalance, strong order block, strong full body candle out, leg out, and a clean, strong structure break. So those are still the areas that I'm looking for price to return to. If it will hit there, I'm not yet sure, but well, let's see. So, a few things. We have this main leg, this push up towards the downside from this leg, and then we have the 50% mark of that leg. But we also have a different leg. We have this high towards this low that broke the structure over here. So we have then this area as well within this smaller leg. We are already filling this imbalance in here. So potentially we could see this as price being rebalanced and then just move towards the downside from here. As we can see that the price action leading up to this area has been corrective impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction. So I'm looking for that last wave, the third wave, to go up inside this area, and then in this area, look for the sells to continue towards the downside. So that is currently my look on GU. And if we just have a look at the 1 hour, yesterday I was looking for price to return to this area and then look for the continuation up, but that didn't happen. So then late the day, scouting on the 5 minute, I think, I saw that price was just starting to trend towards the upside, breaking structure and pulling back. So I was looking for price to return to this area and then to continue up higher. But as you can see, it also did not give us any opportunities. Price pulled back slightly and then pushed up higher and then just started consolidating throughout the rest of the day. So nothing major happened. There was no good entries for me. As you can see on the 15 minute, I was waiting for price to make a pullback down lower inside this area and then go higher, but we didn't get that at all. Nonetheless, we'll have a look now at what we're looking at for today. So currently I'm still considering longs, potentially longs. We now have this new leg on the lower time frames, this impulse leg that broke structure. So we're looking for something below that we can below the 50% that we can look at. If we look at the 50-minute time frame and we just look at our Asian session range, we have the start and the finish of Asian session, so we can just mark that out. We can note that it is relatively consolidated. It's not strongly trending. We have a pip range of about 27, 28 pips, which isn't too bad. It could be working well for us. I've been looking potentially for price to maybe make a push down and then go up higher. That's the one scenario that we can look at, because we can identify this zone. I like this one because we have the imbalance below it as well. Over there, we had multiple structure breaks leading up, strong candle pushing down up, sorry, and it's below the 50% area as well. So this area does look promising for me. It's the most clear full body candle. We can even take the down candle as our basic candle, but I prefer this green candle with a green zone. So potentially this could be something if we see price push down and then go up and then search and target this upside liquidity as a target. So we can just I like coffee, so we put the coffee cup there as our target. That's where I would potentially want to see price reach for if we make this push down. Otherwise, if we just start pushing up, then we'll look for the mitigations, the pullbacks, and take the trade towards the upside. If we completely break down, then obviously we start looking for shorts, because you can see we are respecting now bearish flow. You can see we had the zone over there, and we broke structure, we pulled back into it, and now we're pushing down. So if we break this, area the same way we broke it here, then we'll probably see continuation down a bit lower into this area. So different things to consider, different things to look at. So we need to pay attention to all of it. Just look at the 1 hour again, because we would want to see the 1 hour potentially leave a wick and then move up higher. So probably the next candle, 8 o'clock candle, the Frankfurt open candle, can probably hopefully push us down, create that wick, and then see price go higher. And then it will kind of match the bullish sequence that we are seeing here, and we have the 1 hour imbalance there as well in this area. So I do like this area for buys. We'll just need to see exactly if this is going to be played. So in the region of, if you have to pick a number, 35675. That's a nice round number. So in this region, I would be looking for buys. Let's see if price reaches down. Otherwise, we adapt and we just react to how price is going and not just predict. We just have to react. Next up, we have euro dollar. Let's go to the 4 hour again. Initially, I wanted to see price make a pullback and then continue up higher. So we did push up higher, but we never made the pullback first. So EU is not that super clear for me. If we just look at some of the things that I look at, we need a full body candle. Is the first thing. We need a clean structure break. We could say that this is a relatively clean, strong structure break. It's not as clean because we have wicks and then we have full body candles. We don't have any imbalance left in this area, so there's no imbalance there, which is fine. Which is fine. Seems like we are frozen now. Let's see if we can just pause this video. And we're back. Sorry about that. So I would want to see how price reacts in this area. It would be telling if we really are going higher. So just make this a structure break. Yeah, so we're going to see how price reacts around this area, probably on the lower time frames. See if we get a structure shift. So we want to see a shift in structure around this area. So price can still go down a bit lower and then give us a shift, and then we look for the longs towards the upside. If we just spot our Asian session has been dumping. So let's see, there's a start and finish. There we are. Okay, so Asian session is really just dumping towards the downside, and we have a high and low 22 pips. Other thing that we can expect is a retracement. So this is also an area where I would be looking for sells. If we don't get the buys, I'll be looking for sells in this area. So I'm in two minds whether to go buys or sells. So we'll have to just look and compared to the DXY. We are bearish. So sells is more important. I do think sells could be good, could be better because we have this. This is our most recent push towards the upside, and we did fill the imbalance left there in this candle. So we are rebalanced to some degree. We haven't filled everything because there's more, and then obviously we have the zone above. But we know often after a big push, we don't get the full retracement towards the upside again. So I'm not expecting price to go all the way towards the upside. I do think shorts could be good. If you look at the 4 hour candle, just look how bearish this 4 hour candle is. So the next 4 hour candle, I don't know if it's unreasonable to expect the next 4 hour candle to push all the way back up, tap there, and then go lower. But it would be nice if we can see it push up, create a wick, and then push down and search for this liquidity down below. So our coffee cup is now over there. So that is then the range that I think we will be trading within and targeting. So this is the area where I do think I would be looking for sells. So I'm just putting an alert here. As soon as we reach this area, to be looking for sells, breaking the structure, all of these minor structures into this 1 hour buy zone. Let's see if we can get a retracement up into this area. The other thing that I'm now seeing is we have this zone as well. This it's much smaller, but this one as well. And we have this structure break there. So this could also be a selling area, to be honest. If price gives a rejection, structure break, and then down into this liquidity area below. So that's another thing that I'm looking at for price to reach into this area. But I would want to see price retrace a bit deeper inside the Asian range. But this should be enough as well. If you see, this could be enough. So I'm definitely considering this one as well for potential sales. In my opinion, guys, that's my opinion. Just my opinion. This is not financial advice, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's go on to the next one, Aussie dollar 4 hour. So this was the idea yesterday for price to maybe pull back and then go up higher, but the general direction was for Aussie dollar to go higher, and we are seeing it go higher. So we have a lot of things in here that can be mitigated. We have liquidity above this high, we have these equal highs, we have the strong order block. There's a lot of things happening in these areas where price could be reaching for. So currently, I'm not going to say too much about Aussie dollar. I'm not that clued up with it. Um, yes, it's not one of my favorite pairs, so I'll leave that up to you to decide what you want to do with this information. I prefer GJ currently. Still looking for price to go. So GJ, I was looking for price to make a pullback and then go higher. We did make a slight wick pullback, not as deep as I expected, and we are starting to push up higher. So remember, if you've been following along, you've been watching the morning analysis for the community, I've been saying this level and this level will be tapped, and we have tapped this and reacted off of them. So currently, you remember we had this trend line liquidity and we have this imbalance. So I do think price is heading up. So this is going to be quite confusing because GU and GJ looks kind of bullish and looks like they are making move towards the upside, whereas EU seems very bearish for me. So that's a bit concerning. So you kind of have to decide then which pair you want to be trading and which pair you will be trading. Because in this case, you can't trade both of them. You have to be selective and decide on the correct one to trade. So yes, potentially bullish if we just look at the 1 hour. Uh, so we're looking for areas to buy below previous structure. So if this is a tip. If this is our previous structure, you would be looking for price for something in here. So always look for areas below previous structure because there's liquidity below previous structure. So if you have a trend, you would want to be buying from that area because we have liquidity down here, we have a strong order block, and we have structure break. So there's the setup all set. So just the criteria for yourself that you can implement in your own trading. So currently on DJ, um, this candle, it's not as strong or as good as I would have liked it to be because I like prefer the full body candles. But what helps in this case is that we have the zone, the range. And you remember what I've spoken about range mitigations. We broke out of the range, we came back, we created liquidity. So potentially now we can just tap into that range, sweep the liquidity, and then see price go up higher. So that's more or less what I'm looking for on the 1 hour on GJ. And then obviously you'll be looking and applying the entry pattern techniques taught in this area. So let's quickly have just a look at the Asian session. The Asian session looks relatively good, moving sideways, which we like, and there's multiple reasons for it. So you guys will know about that. So we have the Asian session, the highs and the lows. It's not trending as much, but we have it moving, and we have a 43 pip range. It's a relatively big Asian range. It's not as ideal to base new high lows from. So we'll have to wait and see. Guys, that is it from me this morning. I think EU looks sweet. I do like EU as a setup, starting from either this area or this area. Looking for that confirmation and just targeting and continuing of the higher time from direction, targeting these lows. So it would be great if we can see expansion today on the daily candle towards the downside. So let's just for 1 minute, just look at the daily. Yes, if we can see the daily potentially sweeping these lows, continuing with the move towards the downside, that would be great. Otherwise, we'll probably be going higher. So if all of these areas are broken, we'll definitely be looking for longs. You might take, that's important to remember, you might take a -1 here, and you might take a -1 here by trying to sell, but then shift your bias and see, okay, we're bullish. You might take a trade and you can maybe reach 5R and then you're still up for the day. So remember, risk management always first. Thank you guys. That is it from me. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Enjoy the day and then see you all in the next one. Bye.